Hello students, welcome to PACE Coaching Center online portal. I am Tanmayi. I am a pure math faculty in PACE Coaching Center. PACE Coaching Center is one of the reputed institutes in Vizag. Okay, it is running from past 31 years, guys. So, we have lot of success stories. Lot of students got selected in various jobs, various government jobs from our institute. So that is the reason why till date it is running successfully. Okay, so because of this pandemic situation, we thought of exploring the digital platform. We wanted to spread our knowledge to thousands of people, millions of people through the digital platform. That is the reason why we came up with our content in this YouTube channel. So in order to get the latest notifications and further classes, in order to get updated with the further classes, in order to get the notification, please do subscribe to our channel, guys. It is free of cost now. You will get an amazing content, I promise you that. Whether it may be reasoning, arithmetic, general science, pure math, any of this, so you'll get a good content which is very much sufficient for cracking any of the competitive exam that you wanted to. Okay, so please do subscribe, like the channel. If you like the content, please do share it with your friends. As well as we have come up with an application named PACE Competitive Academy. So the link is present in the description below. Please click on the link, install the application and enjoy the content which is present in it. Okay, and also share it with your friends so that it may be useful for your friends as well. Okay, so let us come to the topic. Today I am going to talk about the surds and indices. Okay, so it is one of the beautiful topic because it is very much scoring. Okay, you will be getting 1 to 2 questions from this surds and indices topic. It is very simple topic if you understand my lecture. So please concentrate on the lecture. It is more than enough for doing any of the sums which are present in your previous questions, as well as the upcoming competitive exams that you will be going to write. Okay, so coming to the surds and indices, let us talk about surds first. Okay, so surds is nothing but it is a plural form of surd. So before knowing what is meant by surd, the exact definition of a surd, you need to know two more definitions. One is what is meant by a rational number. Okay, these all in detail you will be knowing in the arithmetic in number systems. Okay, let us quickly understand the definition of rational numbers and irrational numbers. So coming to the rational numbers, so what is a rational number? Simple, any number which can be represented in terms of p by q form, those are called as rational numbers. Okay, so here the p and q may be positive or a negative number. Okay, for example, 2. This can all be written in terms of p by q, that is 2 by 1. So it is a rational number. 3, 4 and so on. Even the 0 is a rational number. Minus 5 by 3, plus 5 by 3, so on. Okay, so these all are rational numbers. Any number which can be represented in terms of p by q form is a rational number. Okay, so what is an irrational number? What is an irrational number? Simple, guys. The opposite of rational numbers is a irrational number. Any number which can't be represented in terms of p by q form and it has infinite number of decimals which are non-recurring in nature are called as irrational numbers. Okay, let us see with an example. The examples of irrational numbers are root 2, cubed root of 6, This can also be not solved. This can't be solved as p by q form. It can't be solved further. So this is also an example of irrational number. For example, root 3, root 5, etc. These all are irrational numbers because they can't be represented in terms of any p by q form. Okay. What is the value of root 2? The value of root 2 is 1.414 and so on. So the decimals keeps on going. It goes to infinity. And what is the value of root 3? 1.732 and so on. What is the value of root 5? It is 2.236 and so on. Okay. So these are few important things, guys. Whatever I keep in box, those are important. Already you know the value of root 2, root 3 and root 5, but these are important. If you don't know, please do note down in your notes, because these three values are very important to solve the problems. Okay, so these all comes under the examples of rational numbers. So why we have thought about rational numbers and irrational numbers? So let us understand the definition of surd. So what is the main relation between this surds and a irrational number? Okay, so coming to surds, so this is the main hero of our topic, right? So let us understand what is meant by a surd. Remember, guys, if you are lucky enough, you will be getting a question from the definition of surds itself. So if you get a question from the definition itself, it is very simple to answer it, right? You will take not more than 2 to 3 seconds, right, for answering the question. Okay, so it is very important because previously in some question papers, few questions are asked from the definition itself. So it is very important to understand what is a rational number, irrational number and a surd, and the difference between the rational and the irrational numbers. That is the reason I have just briefed about the rational and irrational numbers. Okay, so coming to the surds, so the definition of surd is a root of a positive real number. Okay, note down, a root of a positive real number, okay, which can't be simplified further. Okay, a root of a positive real number which can't be simplified further is called as a surd. Okay, the value of this root can't be determined. Okay, for example, root 2, this is a surd. Cubed root of 6, this is a surd. Root 5, this is also a surd, and etc, etc. So the root may be of any order. This is a square root, this is a cubed root, there may be a fourth root, fifth root, nth root, so on, up to nth root of x. Okay, the condition is, in simple terms, let me write the definition in order to understand, for the better understanding of you. Okay, the nth root of x should be a irrational number. Okay, when we can say nth root of x is a surd, whenever the resultant of nth root of x, whatever the order of the root may be, whatever the value inside the root, the resultant should not be represented in terms of p by q form. That means the output should not be a rational number. It should be a irrational number. Then only nth root of x is called as a surd. Okay, so from this definition, from this equation, what we can conclude? What we can conclude, guys? It is really important. All surds are irrational numbers. Okay, all surds are irrational number. If we say this as a surd, this is also a irrational number. This is also an example of a irrational number. It should be represented in terms of root. The root may be any root. It may be a square root, cube root, fourth root, etc., etc. Okay, so is the vice versa possible? That means all irrational numbers are surds. Are they surds? Okay, that is the main question, which is very much important. Okay, I'll give you two examples of irrational numbers. One example is pi. You all know the value of pi, which can be represented as 3.1415, etc. Okay, so it also contains infinite number of decimal places. It can't be represented in terms of p by q form, so it is an irrational number. The value of e is 2.71828 and so on. This is also an example of irrational number, but these two can't be represented in terms of roots. Okay, so that is the reason these two are not surds. Pi and e are the examples of irrational numbers, but they can't be represented in terms of roots, whether it may be square root or cube root, anything. So that is the reason they are not surds. So all surds are irrational numbers, but all irrational numbers need not be surds. Okay, this is very important point. All surds are irrational numbers, but all irrational numbers need not be surds. The examples of those can be seen here. The pi and e are irrational numbers but not surds. And one more important point is that, for example, let me consider cube root of 8. So it is cube root, it is under a root, and 8 is a positive real number, it is a rational number. Is it a surd? I told you, a root of a positive real number which can't be simplified is a surd. Okay, this can be simplified, right guys? 8 can be represented in terms of 2 cube and it is cube root. So it can be written as power 1 by 3. So 3 gets cancelled and 2 power 1 is equal to 2, which is a rational number. So all roots, whether it is a cubed root, square root, fourth root, etc., etc., these need not be surds. So you can write a point, all roots, you can write in the bracket nth root. Okay, the n may be square root, cube root, etc., etc., need not be surds. Why? Example, cube root of 8 can be simplified as 2, which is a rational number, which is not the definition of surd. So you need to only understand nth root of x should result in a irrational number but not a rational number. If you remember this point, it is sufficient to understand these 2 points. Okay, fine, right? So these are the important points about surds. This is all about surds, guys. Please do note down. Okay, these 2 points are really very important. Okay, and one more point I wanted to tell you. Okay. So if for example nth root of x is a surd, suppose if nth root of x is a surd, here the n is called as order of the root. It is also called as index, exponent, power. Okay. So indices is nothing but the plural form of index. Indices is the plural form of index. So this is the index. It can also be called as an exponent or a power. Here the x, especially inside the root, the x is called as a radicand. Okay. The x is called as radicand. Okay. And this is called as, the symbol of the root is called as radicand symbol. These terminologies are important, guys. Please do note down. N is the order of the root, which is called as index, exponent or power. X is called as a radicand, and this symbol is called as radicand symbol. The whole term nth root of x is called as radicand. Okay, so coming to the indices, one more term you need to understand is, for example, if we write 8 cube. Okay, so I have already told you the cube, the power, this is called as power or index or exponent. Okay, and here the 8 is called as base. It is called as base. So these terminologies are very important. If the question is asked indirectly, okay, then you need to understand the terminologies. So in order to understand the terminologies, you need to write these examples. So please do write these. Pause the video and write these examples. Okay. So let us go to the next topic. The next topic you are going to understand is the laws of indices and surds. You know the meaning of surd, you know the meaning of index. So now you are going to learn about the laws of surds and index. So these laws are very much important, guys. Throughout the surds and indices topic, you are going to apply all these laws. So these are very much important and very easy to understand also. You have already learned in your lower grades these laws. Okay. So now let us first learn the laws of indices. Okay. Laws of indices. So the first law of indices is a power m into a power n is equal to a power m plus n. Okay. If it is multiplication, then here it should be addition. The bases are same, the powers must be added if it is multiplication. Guys, see here, most of the students, I found most of the students doing a small mistake. The questions will also be framed like that only. So if for example 2 square plus 2 power 3, if some question is asked like this, equal to how much, then few students, what I have observed is, I have written that the bases are same. When it is a multiplication, then the powers can be added. Okay. If it is addition, some smart people, what they do is, if it is addition, the bases are same. So what we can do? 2 power multiplication of the powers, which is absolutely wrong. And this one, the 2 power 6 will be the first option in your question paper. when the question is framed like this, the very first option is 2 power 6, which is absolutely wrong. So you shouldn't do like this. Okay, the vice versa is not correct. Okay, so please write down the example also and keep a into mark so that you can understand, you can learn the mistake. Okay, you shouldn't do the mistake again. So that is the reason I have given an example also. So let us give an example for this. If 2 power 2 into 2 power 3 is to be solved, then it is equal to, if the bases are same and it is a multiplication only, then we need to add the powers. 2 power 2 plus 3, which is equal to 2 power 6. Okay. Coming to the next law of indices, that is a power m divided by a power n. Okay, which is equal to, if the bases are same and it is division, then the powers can be subtracted. Here see guys, if we rotate this multiplication, it will become addition. So that is how you can remember. If the division is same as the minus symbol, right? So that is the reason why, if the bases are same and it is a division, the powers should be subtracted. Okay, let us take one example. The same example, for example, 2 power 3 by 2 power 2 is given, then the answer will be 2 power 3 minus 2. It is not 2 minus 3, okay? Numerator power minus denominator power. So these are few mistakes that students do in the exam, okay? So the examiner will also give the options how the students do mistakes. For example, see here, 2 power 6 is not the answer, but the very first option will be 2 power 6, and you will tick it and happily come out and say, I have answered all the questions, madam. All the questions I have answered are right, but I am not getting marks. So these are the silly mistakes that you do. Okay, so that is the reason I am telling you, numerator minus denominator power. Okay, so which is equal to 3 minus 1 is 2, that is 2 power 1, which is 2. Okay, so coming to the next property, a power m whole power n, which is equal to a power m into n. Okay, for example, 2 power 3 whole square, okay, which is nothing but 2 power 3 into 2, that is equal to 2 power 6. Okay, next is anything power 0. A may be 1, 2, 3, etc. so on. It may be any number. Power 0 is equal to 1. Okay, anything power 0 is equal to 1. Okay, students, the next property is the next property. Coming to the next property, guys, the next property is a into b whole power m. A into b whole power m is nothing but a power m into b power m. Okay, a into b whole power m can be splitted as a power m into b power m. Okay, students, now similarly, a divided by b whole power m can be written as a power m divided by b power m. Okay, let me give an example for these two. Example, 2 into 3 whole square can be written as 2 square into 3 square. Okay. For example, 3 2s are 6, right? 6 square is nothing but 36. Let us see whether this is equal to 2 square into 3 square. Okay. 2 square is nothing but 4. 3 square is nothing but 9. 9 4s are 36. Okay. So does a into b whole power m is nothing but a power m into b power m. Similarly, suppose for example 3 by 2 whole square can be written as 3 square divided by 2 square. Okay. A by b whole power m can be written as a power m divided by b power m. Okay, students. Next property is a power minus n. This can be written as 1 by a power n. A power minus n can be written as 1 by a power n. For example, if 2 power minus 2 is given, this is nothing but it is equal to 1 by 2 square, that is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. A power minus n is equal to 1 by a power n. Okay. Next property is a power m power n. Here a power m to the power of n. Okay. This is equal to a power m into m into m into so on up to n times. Okay. A power m is nothing but a power m into m up to n times. Let me tell you with an example. If suppose 2 power 2 square is given, so 2 square is nothing but 4, right? Which is nothing but 2 power 2 square is nothing but we can write as 2 into 2. So 2 times. Okay. 2 power 2 into 2, which is nothing but 2 power 4. Okay. Which is equal to 16. Okay. A power m power n is equal to a power m into m up to n times. Okay. Next property is a by b whole power minus n. A by b whole power minus n. It is same as this one. Okay. So anything power minus n is nothing but 1 by that number whole power n, right? That is what we have written here, right? So 1 by a by b whole power n. Okay. So 1 by a by b can be written as b by a whole power n. So a by b whole power minus n is equal to b by a whole power n. Okay. So let us see the last property, last law of indices. Okay. A power x is equal to b. Okay. A power x equal to b, then if we want to find the value of a, what we need to do? We need to power both sides with 1 by x. Then only x and x will get cancelled and we will get the value of a, right? A power x equal to b. If we want the value of a, then we need to power both sides with 1 by x. So that is equal to 1 by x. X gets cancelled. That implies a is equal to b power 1 by x. Right? So a power x equal to b means if we want the value of a, then a is equal to b power 1 by x. Okay. So these are the 10 important properties that you need to learn, that you need to understand in laws of indices, which we will use throughout the search and indices topic. Okay. Next, coming to laws of search. Next is laws of surds. Now we are going to learn about the laws of surds. The first law is nth root of a. Nth root of a can be written as a power 1 by n. Okay. For example, students, see here, root 2 is same as 2 root 2. Okay, these two representations are valid. This is also a square root and this is also a square root. 2 root 2 is same as root 2. Okay, these two belongs to square root family. Okay, so root 2 can be written as 2 power 1 by 2. So this is a simple example of nth root of a can be written as a power 1 by n. If it is a cubed root, it will come as 2 power 1 by 3 or 2 power 1 by 4, etc., etc. So next property of surds is nth root of a into b. Nth root of a into b is nothing but nth root of a into nth root of b. Okay, nth root of a into nth root of b. For example, okay, root 6. Okay, this can be written as root over 3 into 2, right? 3 2s are 6. No, we can write it as root 3 into 2. So root 6 can also be written as root 3 into root 2. This is very important, students. This property is very important in solving an important model which may come in your examinations, because it is very important in order to find the square root of surds. That is one of the important model we will be discussing in further classes. Okay, so this is the property that we use there. So it is really very important property. Okay, so coming to the next property, nth root of a by b can be split into nth root of a divided by nth root of b. Okay, for example, if cubed root of 2 by 3 is given, it can be written as cubed root of 2 divided by cubed root of 3. Okay, note down the examples as well in order to understand the property easily. Okay, the next property is nth root of a whole power n. This can be written as, first of all, solve the inside bracket one, right? Okay, nth root of a can be written as a power 1 by n whole power n, and n gets cancelled and the value is a. So nth root of a whole power n is nothing but a. Okay, students. Next property is nth root of a. Okay, this can be written as, first of all, solve the inside one. So this can be written as a power 1 by n mth root. Okay, treat this as a number. So mth root of some number is nothing but the number whole power 1 by m, right? We know that a power m whole power n can be written as a power m into n. Okay, we have seen previously, no? So this can be written as a power 1 by m into n. Okay, nth root of a can be written as a power 1 by m into n. If at all, for example, if it is mth root of nth root of kth root of lth root of a, then simply a can be any number, guys. So the value will be simply a power. What you will do, guys? If it is these are the roots of a, so simply 1 divided by multiply all the roots, m into n into k into l. Okay, how many times the roots may be, just you need to, what you need to do, the inside value whole power 1 by multiplication of all these roots, then you will get the answer. Okay guys, till now we have discussed about the basics of surds, the definition of surd, what is a surd, what are indices, okay, the different terminologies which are used in surds and indices, as well as the laws of surds and indices. So we have completed the theory part of surds and indices. So as I have already told you, if you are lucky enough, you will get a basic problem which can be solved within 2 to 3 seconds from the definition of surds. Okay, so I have picked 2 of the questions from the previous year model papers. Okay, the first question is, which of the following is a surd? So by knowing the definition of a surd, you can easily identify the answer. Okay, so what is a surd? It is simply the output is an irrational number. It should not be a rational number. And the next thing is, it should be under any of the root, nth root, which can be a second root, third root, fourth root, and so on. Okay, so we will go from first option. Okay, so let us see the first option. Okay, is this a surd? Here 81, how it can be written? It can be written as 3 power 4, right? Okay, so it is fourth root, so power 1 by 4. 4 gets cancelled, the answer is 3, which is a rational number, so first option is not right. And coming to the second option, 32 can be written as 2 power 5. So as it is a fifth root, it can be written as power 1 by 5. So 5 gets cancelled, which is equal to 2, which is a rational number, and it is not a surd. So coming to the third option, okay, 729, it can be written as 3 power 6 whole power 1 by 6. 6 gets cancelled and the answer is 3, which is also a rational number. So this option is also eliminated. So coming to the D option, so as these all options are false, obviously we can take the D option. So let us see 25. It can be written as 5 square whole power 1 by 3, which can't be simplified further. So it is a surd. So option is D. It is simply the definition of surds. From the definition of surd, you have got the answer. So coming to the second problem, second question, recognize the rational number. So he is asking the rational number. So what is a rational number? Which can be simplified further, right? It should be written as in the form of P by Q form. So let us see the options. 27, can it be written in terms of P by Q form? How the 27 can be written as, guys? 3 cube, right? Whole power 1 by 4, which is a surd. It is not a rational number. It is an irrational number. Coming to 16, is it a surd? Can it be written in terms of P by Q form? Is it a rational number? See once. How can 16 be written? It can be written as 2 power 4 whole power 1 by 3, which is also a irrational number. It is a surd but not a rational number. So coming to root 11, obviously by seeing this only we can say it is not a perfect square. So it is also a irrational number. So coming to 243. 243 is nothing but 3 power 5. It can be written as 3 power 5 whole power 1 by 5. So the answer is 3, which is a rational number. So option D is the right answer. Okay, By knowing the definition of a rational number, irrational number, and a surd, we can do these kind of problems. Okay. That's all for today, guys. Hope you like my video. If you like my video, please do like it and subscribe our channel for getting the further notifications regarding the future classes. And also, please do share it with your friends. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.